starting off today with active custom fields and how we're building out just a basic template catalog using Beaver Themer. And so I've got just some basic fields to create and just super basic look and layout. But I want to introduce everybody. If y'all want to say hello, hold on, let me do this. Hi, I don't know what camera is. Hey, Christina Hawkins. I'm with Global Specs Digital Marketing. I'm one of the leaders, I guess, of the Houston WordPress meetup group. And if you want to, I'm going to switch this now. You want to start? Say hi.
I'm a support of WordPress site called cyclehouston.org. So I'm here to try to
WordPress.
Okay, my name is John Gerberidge. I'm a web content writer, so I do web content basically a CCO. So I know I'm not involved. And I would want to.
Yeah, my name is Steve Rosin. I am a web developer. I work in Houston for a clean gas company. And it's good.
Life is good.
Nan Keller, I'm with Mr. Community Group, and my pandemic project was to actually learn enough WordPress to set up my site.
Cool.
I did, and it's actually in Beaver Builder. So I was excited that somebody
And after I do this, if you guys have any other questions, I'll just kind of show you here. If you guys get stuck on something, I'm more than happy to kind of help you guys out. You know, if there's anything else, I'll try and go through this pretty quick. I'm literally building out a page here. Hey, Vincent, do you want to say hi? Or are you just going to silently listen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Vincent. I'm an independent computer person and have always had an interest in WordPress for 2,000 years, as far as I can tell. I've been, so that's pretty much all there is. But it's good to see everyone. And thank you for hosting this.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on. It's the first time I'm doing a dual in-person virtual here. I'm not sure Meetup is geared for this. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to let people know. But how did you find out? Was it through the email or through Facebook?
Facebook, Houston WordPress meetup.
Okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't sure what was the best way to do that. So awesome. Hey guys, there's cookies. So please eat cookies. I can't bring that stuff home. It's just my daughter and I, and there's just no way I'm gonna.
So we have cookies. Next time you have to go.
Where are you, Vincent?
I'm in Houston, Texas, near the Galleria.
Oh, you're in the Galleria. Okay. Well, you should have. Well,
You'll have to come next time.
next time, come out. Yeah.
I'll try my best.
I'll try my best. So I know that Houston WordCamp US is in San Diego. It's coming up in September. You guys going? You're gonna go. Of course you are. I wish I could go. Can't. I just can't. And they were really. They had only a certain number of tickets they were allowing you.
No, they sold all tickets within 70 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. You had to call some friends. I'm sure you know a lot of them. Yeah, so I don't know, any other news you guys want to share? I've got a couple of things here. Anything that you guys want to share about WordPress? No. Yeah, so WordPress.org is actually getting a new facelift. Interesting enough, they're getting a new design. So that's interesting. ServerPress is closing its doors. And let's see, WooCommerce is going to stop registering customizer options. So I guess I was trying to understand that. WooCommerce is making a strong push towards getting the customizer menu out of the admin. Oh, so you know the top bar, this top bar here, when you have any kind of customizer tool, even I think WordPress has it, the top bar will have customize. And that confuses a lot of users because there'll be edit page and customize right next to each other. And people assume, don't know which is which. So they're pulling that out of the top bar up here. So I thought that was interesting. All right, so what I'm doing here is I am going to use a tool called active advanced custom fields. This allows you to create your own fields and your own post types within WordPress. Then you use Beaver Themer. And I believe you can probably do this in Elementor. Is pulling those individual fields into a display. So Beaver Themer will let you kind of basically create your own custom post type, your own page. So kind of like what WooCommerce does is that you go to WooCommerce, you can add a product, right? So you can, the title, the description, the price, those are all just custom fields. And then WooCommerce actually has a display side of it. So you don't actually have to create the display. So what I'm going to show you how to do is do something similar, like create, let's just, I think in my example, I'm doing a recipe catalog, right? So if we're going to build out a recipe catalog with this recipe name, an image, and we're going to create these fields, and then we're going to pull them into a very simple display so you can kind of see how that looks. So first, what we want to do is advanced custom fields. So let's call this, we're going to think of a taxonomy too. Whenever you're building this out, you want to have a taxonomy of groupings, right? So this is the recipe taxonomy, a recipe group. So I'm just going to call this recipes. And I'm going to reduce this here and get this down. I can't see anything here. Now I'm going to add a field, right? So that the field, let's call this, now I don't need to create a recipe name because that's going to be your default is usually when you create a new post. So again, here's your posts. We're actually creating another type of post is what we're ending up doing. So we're going to have, let me see where I had my product name is typically just going to be the post name. So I don't need to create that. We're going to have maybe a SKU or a special ID that is going to distinguish this specific post. We're going to call this SKU. I'm going to field of a text. Is it required? Yes. And why I want a SKU is if I decide I want to have a spreadsheet that I want to import. So every one of these little rows need to have its own line and its own individual ID. So a SKU allows us to do that. So I always want to have some kind of individual ID. Now, I can now decide when somebody creates a new recipe, what is required and what's not required. So is it required? And this would be yes. Default value would be SKU. I don't need to add any of this here. Now I'm going to hit another one. I'm going to add another field called, I don't need to do description again, just like any default post type. Let me show you what that looks like here because I'm assuming things. So each of these within a post is a field. So we have the title is always here. Then you've got, I'm going to use the standard editor here. This section and just below that would be the description, and that's just default. Every post is going to have that. So I don't really need to create that description field, but I am going to create an ingredients field. And this probably is just going to be, how do I spell ingredients? We're going to have ingredients field. It usually goes ahead and populates everything in here. This is actually going to be a text area because we're going to have a lot of space and probably do some bullets of what exactly people need to gather for this. I probably want to make this field required. So I can't hit update. I can't add a new unless I've completed this section here. So placeholder text, this might be add, let's see, add ingredients. And character limit, if you ever want to kind of keep it within a certain level, I don't recommend it. You could have a certain number of rows that you're going to show. You've got new lines. I'm not going to do any forwarding. Conditional logic, that's a whole other advance. I don't want to even get into that. That's an if else type of thing. I don't want to start getting into that. Now we've got another one is, let's call this calories. Let's pretend that we're going to have some healthy people on here. We're going to put in how many calories. If I can type on a word, Kyle Laura Reeds, right? Hit save. This might be a text field. We do have other options, which I'll show you through. So we've got, if you want to put an email address, a URL, I'll certainly do an image in here. If you want to have a specific file, you can do checkbox, radio boxes. So any of these are what's going to show on the display, but also when we have this part, we have add a new post. Now instructions, maybe I don't have this required. So let's keep going. I'm going to add another field. Let's call this one the meat type. So this one is probably going to be a checkbox. Nope, a select. So I want a selection of choices. So there's going to be beef, chicken. No, did I have pork? And beef, chicken. I had vegetable, and I think I had pork. No, I had lamb. For some reason, I had lamb. Allow null, so I can decide if I'm going to have nothing in there. That's fine. I can make those decisions as well. Like someone needs to have an option here. Is the point. And I can have, if maybe it's a vegetarian, if it's got a meat and a chicken in this dish, so I can select multiple values are going to be in here. Let's do one more field. This might be a recipe. This might be directions. Again, this is going to be a text area. And then we'll have, I don't need to do featured image because just like in a brand new post, by default, there is a featured image already in here. Why is it hidden? Where's the featured image? So there's my recipes again. Okay, so SKU, ingredients, calories, meat type, directions. Let's just figure out, let's just do image here. We're not moving an image. Let's just give this an image field. I want to make it required. And that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Themer. So I'm going to take this specific, all those fields, and I'm just going to display them. It's just super easy. We just did this for a really large business full of engineers and coders, and they just couldn't wrap their head around how easy it was. How easy it was to add a field, populate it, and have it, and me to just add this field over into the display side. So I'm going to go ahead and create a Themer layout. So this might be the recipe page, right? So we're going to choose, it's a Themer layout. This is going to be, usually I just do the archive layout style, but I'm essentially creating my own layout here. Now I'm going to launch Beaver Builder. So let's see, because this is the whole page. I can actually create headers and footer Themer layouts. I can create sidebar Themer layouts. So right now this is called in the default post layout right now. So I don't need any of this. So I'm literally just going to delete this. You have to, yeah. And what I'm going to do now is, let's say I'm going to put in that. No, I got to fill on some stuff in here. Otherwise it's going to look weird. I don't like Microsoft. This is just not fun. Let's see, let's go back here. Now, so I need to create a custom post type. This is why my developer. So we're going to call this recipes, and I can create different, Microsoft Windows. I can create different recipes, because what we're going to do is this is now going to show up on the left. Where'd my recipes go? There are my recipes. So now, one thing I need to do is connect my post type. Okay, one thing I failed to mention, when you create this group of post types or fields. You need to choose that I want this to work with the recipe post type. Hit update. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my new recipe. And that's how easy it was to just create your own post type. But all I did was I created a post type called recipes. Now you can see my SKU, my ingredients, my calories, my meat type, and my directions.
Themer.
Huh?
In Themer, you can create.
Yeah, and now I'm going to go to Themer and now pull all this data into the Themer side. All right, so let's let me. Let me see if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. Let me do this. Let me create one of these. So let's go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pull in. I'm going to get a recipe. Just going to copy paste one of these bad boys in here. Let's do the air fryer pork chop, even though I don't have a. If y'all get hungry, there's cookies over there. Let's see. Do they have descriptions? No. I don't want a slideshow. I want a recipe. Okay. All right, so I'm going to copy. I know. See, there's cookies over there. Go get some cookies. Put my, let's see, do I have a description? Put my directions in here. I can put my calories, just say 500 calories for this. Oops, directions here. Let's put. Let me see if I can just copy paste. Really? There we go. Copy here. Okay, there we go. Now, one thing I failed to do was give the ability to have this a WYSIWYG. So give me a second now. Let me go over here. So I want my ingredients. I want this to be a WYSIWYG editor. And I want also the directions to be a WYSIWYG editor. Anyone know why we want a WYSIWYG editor? Yep. So I can bold and italicize and add links. Exactly. Exactly. So why can't I save my draft? So, oh, because I don't have a title. Ah, all right. Let's call this cream corn. There we go. Now, this is that updating failed, the response. Hey, programmer, any idea why this is showing? No. Hold on, let me get my developer on the line. So, as a troubleshooting, this is a possibility. If you change out your permalinks for a second.
You know, you made a custom post type and didn't update. Things.
Yeah, see,
Because of that, you have that issue. I'm sorry, what's a permalink?
it's how your URLs display. So you'll notice we've got plain, which is using just the post ID P equals 1, 2, 3. Then you've got the day name, which was way back when we were just blogging. That's what people would do. But most people now just want what we call just the post name. It pulls in the post name that you're using. Some people go further and they might have their blogs might be in this format, but the regular pages might not be. But yep, Yep. So if you ever get weird errors like that, or all of a sudden your links aren't working, your pages aren't working, sometimes you go straight to this permalinks. You just switch it out for a moment and switch it back. It kind of resets itself.
The thing we're having is with, we recently moved off of the hosting service. So when you go and take a look at you go to another web page, instead of having our URL, it has the URL of the host involved in it. So it's like, where do I change that?
URL of your host.
So it'll say WP Engine on it.
Oh, either you're using a staging site and not the production site.
It's on production site.
It's on production site, then you don't have your DNS set up properly, either
Okay.
within WP Engine or your DNS.
Okay.
I would talk to WP Engine. They'll figure that out for you.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's try this again.
Before your new IP address properly. And when you do that, you install WordPress, then you have that address from
Yeah, I don't know. Another guy did it, so it's like you're talking to the not only ignorant, but stupid, so. I have zero background on what he did.
I learned that when I did that for the second time, and I remember, oh yeah, I remember the last time when I mean,
I'm still trying to learn the terminology here. Yeah.
So you'll notice how it changed out the WYSIWYG editor here. Now, I think maybe I saved draft. I think I'm good. Yeah, it worked. Thank you. Oh, she's resetting. Oh, she thinks it could be HD access too, but it's fixed now. So, oh, see, I didn't fill everything out. So what am I missing? I need to add an image. Let's see. Oh God, I really hate.
if it is custom post type,
Mhm.
then you don't have the default image for your post.
Oh, it has got I had everything else scheduled up here in my drive. Let's see, let's look at for open image, save image as, that's what I want, JPEG. Awesome. Okay, all right, let's just add this new, we're gonna add an image. We're gonna upload it here. We've got documents, adding our little image here. Don't always put your alt tag. Hit select. Now I should be able to publish. So I haven't done anything yet. You'll notice if I pull this out here, it's just gonna, it probably won't show anything. There's nothing to show, right? So, because I haven't pulled in the data yet. So now I'm coming back over here. We don't want that. We want the Themer again. Appearance. Go back to Themer. Do I have my recipe in here? There's my recipe. All right, Beaver Builder. Now, we should be able to pull in data in here. So let's put in the text. So let's just say I'm calling this is going to be the description of the recipe, right? So I'm hitting this little plus icon. I now need to go to, where is my, I can use the description. I don't want to do that. So what we do is we do text. Where's my custom fields? There we go. Post field. I'm gonna. So the field is a post field. It's the text. Now I got to go back and get that field name. So that field name for directions is directions. I come here, I put directions in here. I'm now going to choose the detected field is here, right? I hit save, hit save. Hopefully it'll show. Let's just hit done. And it didn't work. Let's see, let's see, do I need this? And do I have this? I've got the directions in here. Let's see if we can get that image in here now. There we go. So now I'm going to, no, it's pulled up the heading. All right. Custom archive post field. We're going to choose the image. And if you want to use, if you don't have a photo that you, maybe somebody forgot, although we have it required right now, it'll have a, you can choose a fallback image. So sometimes when we're building these things out, we've got a test image. It's just all the same image if we don't have anything. You can definitely choose the size. So this might be 600 by 600, and I'll hit save. Hit save. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out what is going on here. I think I might have the wrong post type here, guys. My mistake. It's not, archive is not the correct post type. It's singular. Ah, there we go. Okay. Figured it out. Always a way. All right, so let's get back to it. We'll add the. All right, let's see. So I went to custom post field. I'm going to insert this. I'm going to do this. This is actually new. The detected fields is new. Like I hadn't seen this the last time I built out a site. There's your testing directions. So there's that.
You probably haven't.
No, it's me. User error. It's all me, guys. Totally me. Now let's put the, now I'm going to put the ingredients to the right and come down here, hit the post field, hit insert again. I don't know, are they? Well, then speak up, say something, unmute yourself. All right, there's save. So there's my ingredients. This mouse is super sensitive, so it's driving me crazy. To the left are instructions, to the right is the recipe list. And now we'll go ahead and add that image. Right, so I'm actually going to put it just below. Now, if you notice in Beaver Builder, it highlights as you move things around, right? So as I'm moving, I know exactly where the image is going. So I'm going to hit this plus signal, and that plus is that indicator that I'm creating something different here. So I'm going to connect. I'm going to choose the image here, right? And I'll probably do a somewhat decent size. Hit save. And you know, I can add more details here. So I can do a title attribute. I can show a caption if I want. I can link it. You know, if I have a special link that I want to send it to, a light box. So if you happen to be good enough and you can add all of the images in there as like thumbnails and stuff, right? Kind of like a WooCommerce, you can hit this and a light box will show up. It'll go dark behind and the image will show. So I can style this a little bit, right? I can crop it a certain way. I can make it, you know, panoramic, circle, right? Kind of have fun with it here. Make it circle, right? Hit save. So now it's pulling, but you notice how easy this is. So if you plan this out right, you can create your own recipe catalog. You can create your own wine list. Your own, you know, you're not reliant on what WordPress has done. Using active custom fields, using custom post types, and a tool like Beaver Themer, This is not hard. You notice I didn't do a lick of code. There was no PHP. I had no skill on any of that. I just kind of had a little troubleshooting, but obviously you can make a mistake and fix it later. So
Widget or something you add to the WordPress?
what the Beaver Builder? Advanced custom field is a plugin. Yeah, so you saw me when I installed that. It's just a free plugin that you can get. I think even custom post types is another one. So if you're ever interested in building something like this out, it's not hard, especially nowadays with these front end designers like Elementor, like Beaver Builder. Gutenberg's getting to this point. I just don't use Gutenberg at this point yet, but I'm not sure if they're actually at that point where they're connecting to active custom fields to be able to do this. Okay. Yeah. And again, I can move these around. Let's see. What was the other one we had? We had, the SKU, which I'm not really concerned about. Ingredients, the calories, right? So let's put in the calories section here. Again, this would be a text editor. And I can do this too. Calories, right? Now I'm going to add this custom field. So I'm going to insert it. I'm going to look for calories in here. Hit save, and now I'll have calories and then the calories right next to it. So this will automatically populate as I'm building each one of these out. So it'll pull in that field. Then we have let's see, we have meat type. Let's see how a drop down works. Let's do this. With meat type, it'll work just like the 500 calories. Again, I'm going to insert this into this. Scroll down, I'm going to insert it here. Now I'm going to do my meat type. I'm going to hit save. So it's showing the beef that I chose. Now, one thing I haven't tested is what if I choose more than one? What if I choose, there's beef and vegetarian? So right now, if I come here, let's go. So I'm going to edit this recipe and let's see if I do another meat type might be, let's just do all of them. Hit update, hit refresh. Let's actually do it this way. So it pulled in every selection that I had. So if you've got a recipe, so again, it's all the taxonomy. You've got one product. If it's applying to multiple, you can do that. Now, the other thing that you have to realize too, I have to go back and do it, is I can add categories in here. So now I can pull in the meat category and have them all display under meat categories or chicken categories. So it just makes for a nice tool later on if you're trying to come up ways of displaying different types of items without installing WooCommerce or some expensive plugin. This is all I've shown you, except, well, Beaver Themer is a fee, but you could at some point, I'm hoping Gutenberg does have the ability to do active custom fields. I'm sure they will. Have you seen it yet with Gutenberg? Have you seen it with Gutenberg with active?
They said they can make, I played them.
Okay, I haven't seen how to do it yet, so.
I saw it on what is the other page of it? Elementor, so it's an Elementor, so it's an Oxygen.
Now, if you're curious about Beaver Builder designing, you know, as I'm highlighting, I can choose this whole row. I can change the color. So I want like a color here. I can choose, you know, a decent color, right? I can change the height. Here's my height. It's custom height. Here's my paddings. Adding, save. Right, I can change the width. I want my Mac back. I want my Mac. There we go. All right. So I got my calories, my meat type. Now, if I'm going to adjust the padding on this, probably don't need so much padding below. Maybe I want to get this a bit bold so that, right? I can hit this, I can hit meat type, make that bold. Oh, I'm afraid to add more. All right, now I'm gonna see if we can make it so that I've got multiple in one, right? So we have a page of all the recipes on one place. So I'm just gonna quickly maybe add another recipe. Here, add new. Just call it mac and cheese. This number 2 SKU. Here's some. Do bullets here. Let's put macaroni, cheese, milk, salt. There, good. Calories, 1,000 calories. This maybe would guess this is vegetable. I don't know. I guess still got milk in there. We're gonna boil water, add noodles, add cheese. And should probably not make the image. So we're going to choose one we've already got in here. I'll just choose one of these oil. So delectable. All right. I know, I'm just typically these are most of our templates that we build out for our clients. All right, so now we got a new recipe. Mac and cheese, all right, with a little bit of oil. Yum, yum. And all right, now I got to think to myself, how am I making the category? Oh yeah, all right. So now, next thing I got to do is I need to add the taxonomy for categories. So let me get back in here. I'm going to edit the recipe. Now let's see, all items, filter. Settings, here we go. Show in the nav. As archive, hierarchical. I can change. So right now the recipe shows here. I can actually change this so that it's position 1. So it's the very top if I want. Supports, here we go. Supports, custom fields, comments, revisions, author. Here we go. Categories is what I want. There we go. And that's over in that custom post type. So remember, custom post types build out the post type, the page, like a post and a page. I've now created my own post type, the recipes. So WooCommerce has the same thing called products. It's a custom post type. So recipes is a custom post type. Posts is a post type. Page is a post type. So I just created a new one. Now I need to, so now I need to edit the recipe because I need to create some categories. So let's, there's my categories. There's my featured image, by the way. Let's give a category of, what's another category? I've already got meat. Let's call, what's another category for recipes? Help me out. Sorry? Okay, well, okay. Oh, well, yeah, okay, so call it, okay, this would be for breakfast, right? We're gonna add that new category. Oh, I'm gonna add here. Breakfast, I'm gonna add this category here. I'm gonna add a new one called lunch. That category. And then I'm gonna do dinner. Mid-morning snack, afternoon snack, midnight snack. So you can see I've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner now. So I'm going to give this one the cream cord. I'll give this one a dinner. Right, I'm going to hit update. Now go back to my recipes, my custom post type recipes. And let's do, I should be able to do it in quick edit. Yeah, here we go. Let's do lunch for this one. So I've got a new page. I'm just creating a page at this point, right? This is going to be really easy. I'm going to launch Beaver Builder. Oh, it's hitting Beaver Builder. Hold on. Oh, I got to go back. Hold on, guys. I got to go back because it's,
Oops.
I still have archive attached to recipes. There we go. I need to delete this. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to add a new page. So I'm going to call this my recipes. But I'm going to, yeah, recipes. I'm going to hit publish. All right. We'll just overwrite the layout. Okay. Now I'm going to add a grid of content. All right, so we're gonna, so what I've done is I pulled in the post grid. It's just a module within Beaver Builder, right? And now I've got a custom query because what I'm trying to do is I just want to show one category of recipes. So I just want to show lunch for now. So come down here. So I chose the post type, remember, talk about post type, that's recipe. Now I'm going to filter, match these recipes by category though. I could choose recipes that had the word corn in it. I could choose recipes that had the word meat in it. I could do that, but I'm going to choose the dinner. I'm just searching. So it's finding the category. I hit save. So now it's only going to show any post that I have with categorized as dinner. Now I can also kind of this, it's in mobile mode here. All right, now I can style this out. So remember, I've got access to all kinds of things. I've got, let's see my layout here. I can show, well, the featured image isn't showing right now, so I got to change that out. So author, date. I'm trying to figure out where my post content length. It's my content that's more custom based in here. Show an image. The featured image is not what I want because I don't have a featured image.
You have to add this custom post type.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, it's there. I just haven't put a photo in it.
In ACF.
But I want to use my field. So I'm not sure. Let's do custom grid. See what that does. This is I use PowerPack as an extension to Beaver Builder. So let's see if this is going to give me that option in here. Custom query, post type recipes. What I'm wanting to do is style what this looks like. Well, if all else fails, work with it. Give the mac and cheese a featured image. Come back over here. Featured image, set the featured image. Our little gas pipeline. And what I would then also recommend is utilize the description part of this because it'll be a lot easier to pull this in later. So if you want to say the description, these are the ingredients, the directions. Oh yeah, description might be, did I do cream corn? Nope, I did. Let's do, so I'm going to give this one the lunch. So now it's pulling in that featured image because I gave it a featured image now. So, but I mean, you can see how you can kind of get fun with this and start moving things around and really kind of build out. So when a client comes to us and says, hey, can we have another row just to show these types of products? We can absolutely do that. It's not difficult. I just add a row. And we style it, we add the features, we add the images, and my programmer, I'm thinking what's happening here is to get the next level at this point. You probably need to know some PHP to get that information in here. I might be wrong though. But anyway, you can still create some really interesting pages here without knowing code, I think. So and what I'm missing now is a header in here, which we can pull. I'm gonna just pull that header in here really quick. So if I add, I might have saved. Yeah, here we go. All right. Super basic stuff here. Active, advanced custom fields and post types. Did I thoroughly confuse you? Okay, awesome. That was my goal. Now, what is it that I'm confusing you on?
Well, I think most of it is, I'm not familiar with a lot of the concepts that's happening inside of WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cascading of pieces that go on inside of WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to figure out who does what.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just do another widget name that means it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where like Beaver Builder fits into the whole scheme of things, like is it part of like Elementor?
Yes.
Throw it on top of it.
Elementor and Beaver Builder do the same thing.
So this becomes the competing pieces here.
Right.
Is that I can tell you what I got over here kind of in Elementor, but when you're showing me stuff in Beaver Builder, it's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I'm not sure how many of the concepts that are in Beaver Builder will actually go to Elementor.
All those modules that I pulled in, Elementor has the exact same modules. They probably call it something different.
Right. Yeah.
Now, the feature where you're adding a custom field, the little plus sign, I don't know what that looks like in Elementor. Probably something similar, like, I don't know, plus sign or a drop down or something. They have something very similar to this. But it's the same concept of custom fields, which is in the WordPress side. And then Elementor Beaver Builder is the front side. It's the front facing to make it look pretty, move things around.
So in actuality, it's just talking to whatever is basically in WordPress.
Right.
They just call it something else.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. They have a same exact concept. They just call it something different.
So I had a site built in Van Tam. Are you familiar with it?
No, Bantam.
V-A-N-T-A-M. V is in victory. V is in victory. V-A-N-T-A-M.
Is this a theme?
It's like Beaver Builder, only it's called Van Tam. 2 words. There you go, maybe that's it. Try 2 words. You try it in your Google search. 2 words, V-A-N space V-A-N. All right, okay, all right,
They may not be around anymore.
all right. Okay.
When did you build it?
That's all my whole challenge, Montrose. That's my whole concern is that he built it in something I wasn't aware of, and
Mhm.
I'm curious, and so I'm thinking about getting somebody to convert it. You know,
Yeah.
they knock on your door.
Yeah. We do that all the time. We take old sites and we tell our clients, like, we don't have to redesign. We can just take what you already have and just convert it. Because I've got sites that are 15 years old and we're telling them now it's dead in the water. It's dead. I can't touch it. Yeah. No, you'd be fine with 4. You'd be okay. But you know, there's
I can't operate.
exactly. Yeah. That's the
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
That's the problem. And then there's no support for it. So I don't know what the security is like right now. If it's a dead in the water theme and nobody's actually updated the core theme, you might have some serious security issues. So I can't touch it because it's got old PHP. Oh, it looks fine. I can't update anything though. I can't update a plugin. I can't update PHP. I can't update WordPress because if I do, the whole site breaks.
So you don't know if I want a conversion, the difficulty or time that would be involved because you don't know Van Tam. You got to look at it first, right?
I wouldn't even care about Bantam. I would just look at the front facing one and just literally just copy paste everything over, you know, because
Is it a big
people
project?
think, oh, why can't you just switch the theme? Like, no,
Is it a big project usually?
I don't know. It depends on how big your site is.
It's not very.
And the complexity of the design. You know, that, because we can whip up a design on Beaver Builder and then all the things we need to do is export your files, export your photos, and just one by one copy paste
I like what
content.
you've done, I'm just not familiar with anything.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm more than happy to answer any other questions.
Well, Vincent,
Vincent, yeah. Do you, and I'm sorry, I've already forgotten your name. No, not you. I know you, Leslie. Yeah. Do you, are you stuck on anything? Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I was just going through my site just to see what was going on because I couldn't follow where you were getting your, your theme drop down.
Okay,
So I got that. And that's, yeah.
okay.
What did you say your custom posts? Starting one?
There's advanced custom fields and then let me show you the name of the field. So it's custom post type CPT UI, which is, I don't know. Anyway, let me get the actual name here. It's literally called custom post type UI. That's the name. Let's see. And again, it should. Yeah, it's a free plugin. It's on the WordPress repository. So you need those three things. You need custom post type UI, which creates the post type we called recipes. And then we have the fields, the group of fields that we created. That was advanced custom fields, which we created a group of fields called recipes. And then we opened up a page and designed a post type for the recipes. What's your website? What's your website?
It's not, maybe I've got it at. I'm not sure what it's doing right now. It's ngladvisor.com. You can tell I've really spent a lot of time on it.
Is this yours? That looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, you did good. Ah, all right. There you go.
Yeah, what I just found out, I was going to an updating my Beaver Builder thing, and I just found out that theme, it doesn't like that theme. That developer Astro's pretty much everybody's site is Astro.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's the same layout. Everyone has the same layout.
Right, right.
That one will work with Beaver Builder. This one is a different one. I
Mhm.
like the layout, but it's not compatible. So when you try to do the
Hmm.
like the headers and the footers, so you can do the Beaver Builder stuff, it's not compatible with this one, so it doesn't support it.
Beaver Builder has its own theme as well. So I would just use that one. And
I'm thinking that might be the one you want.
because when you buy these themes, the point of these types of things is to use their look and not touch anything else.
Right.
And so Beaver Builder kind of becomes more of a laying on top within the content itself. It doesn't become a full-on like design tool. So you kind of have to decide, do I want it to just look like one of these, which is perfectly fine. The only problem I have with these types of themes is security, but the other side is really lots of bloat, lots of code bloat in many of these, like monster themes and let's say Envato, elegant themes. They tend to have because they throw everything in the kitchen sink inside it. So when I showed you custom post types, they'll have all the like multiple in there,
I like 2/3 of it, so it got me most of the way where I wanted to be with the layout, but then the problem was I had to go in the Beaver Builder and do custom stuff, so it's smushed together.
Right.
So if you're trying to maintain it, if I want to turn it over to somebody to actually do the maintenance and the updates and stuff, it's going to be hard for them because it's got those two different things going on and stuff.
Got it.
I was disagreeing with my wife, but she did it with her website in Wix. Do you know what that is?
Wix? Yeah, I know Wix.
Yeah, she did hers in Wix. I didn't like it.
No, really?
This doesn't seem as efficient as WordPress.
Well, it's because you're in WordPress. You just know WordPress so well.
Okay, all right.
Because yeah. Yeah, I hear
You
you.
did a good job.
I guess it's fumbling, but honestly, I'm kind of glad I fumbled because it shows you that you just do it. Don't worry about breaking anything. You can always go back. What do you mean? You're gonna give me constructive criticism? Absolutely, sure, go ahead. No retribution. I'm not gonna kick you out.
I want to practice the process or procedure before you go to Zoom. You did a great job, you know.
Well, I've done it so many times, but the last time I did it was 6 months ago, and they changed the UI.
Ah.
And so I got it. That's where I got in there like, oh crap. But no, I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. I had everything all set up. Literally, I had everything all set up. I had the photos ready. I had this ready, and then this this thing. But it's it's recorded, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to but do you have any questions that you're stuck on?
Oh, got tons.
I'm more than happy to.
Right now, we moved our home environment, we took it off the host, went to WP Engines,
Mhm.
but then we also took the mail server off of the host and put it into, we went to Google Workspace. So everything is now working out of Google Workspace.
Okay.
And like some of the really things that I used to be able to do on the old host is I use that mail system and do both letters. You can't do it in Google Mail.
No.
You could fake it out. What I found out is you send one message, wait a minute, send another message, so I have to figure out a workaround on that.
Mhm.
I have a process issue in that we've kind of created a staging area and a production area, but I don't know how to get pages moved from one side to the other side.
I don't think that's how that works, right? Normally, when you hit move, the whole site gets moved over.
Yeah, that's not tenable. The problem is that if you do the whole site, you lose whatever's in the forms data, the entries in the forms.
Yep.
So that's a problem. And this is kind of those things I have to work out. We're trying to work out on our back end pieces.
Well, wait. Why are you holding on to form entries?
Because I don't have a back end. Okay, so the problem is I don't have a way of, I mean, yes, I could delete them now since I collected it. But I've got too many of those forms out there. I don't know which ones I collect.
Export them all.
Huh?
Just export them all, put them in a spreadsheet.
Yeah. I
When you
don't
have
do
them.
that yet.
Why not?
Really, what I want to do is.
You're making it harder for yourself
Yes, I
then.
am, absolutely. Did I say I was trying to make it? So I am trying to create these back end. Trust me, trying to cut and paste from a CSV file into a database, yada, yada, yada. That just becomes a pain in the ass.
No, yeah.
And that's long term. So when I'm looking, I went to Zapier, we looked at it, but there are some issues of the complication I'm trying to do.
Hmm.
There's this one page where we asked the school for information from them. Every year they actually have to submit a questionnaire to us. Well, what I really want is they type in their school name, and if they're already registered once, go to the back end, pick up the data and tell them this is what you did last year.
Mm,
I don't have that yet.
mm.
Okay. And then they can update it and then they'll push it back our way. And so these are the things that I'm trying to work out, how to make all this stuff talk between the website and to the database that we still haven't figured out which database we're gonna go to. I mean,
What's your goal here? What are you trying to accomplish with the form entries?
go to the site. Let me try to tell you. I know you guys aren't, it's almost like running a business. Okay?
What's the website?
Cyclehouston.org.
Cycle or cycle?
That too. Okay, so go to bike program. Wait, it just throws you all over the place, doesn't it? Actually, go back up to the top again, and then it says school participation. And then it says a questionnaire, there's a questionnaire there at the top. So basically what we're doing is we asked if these schools are Title I, and they say, just go ahead and answer yes. So this is stuff that I wanted to, if they start selecting a district, I'd actually like to have kind of a drop down where it says, this is the districts that we know of.
Yeah, you can do that.
But if there is I mean, we get new districts coming in, I won't know it. So now I have to come up with an extra piece that says, okay, other.
Yeah,
Then they have to put in the school name. But if I know the district, they select the district, and I give them the school name, then I kind of go back and say, listen, this is all the stuff that you gave us, presented to us already.
right.
Okay, and then all they have to do is update whatever they have. And it comes back to the database.
Right.
This database is actually a feed to a bunch of other pieces that have to go on in order to manage the environment, because we collect information from the school.
Yeah.
They give us different information about their students, how well they're doing, if they met their goal or didn't meet the goal, if we're gonna build a bike or not. If I have logistic issues where I have to say, these are the schools we're gonna help out. We have these volunteer drivers that will drive these bicycles to school. So this is really a fairly significant
Right.
operation. It's not a little
Right.
business here.
Right.
Even though, right now, we're servicing about 50 schools. Eventually, my target is 100 schools.
Got it.
Okay, this gets to be a real hassle having to do it by hand, right? There's no way in hell.
You
I'm gonna
shouldn't be
copy it
doing
from a
it.
CSV file and put it into the database every time. So the thing is, these are the kind of operational issues that I'm trying to fix with the back end. It's really.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I would not keep anything on your website. There's just literally no point to that, especially if you're trying to make changes on staging and go live and then just whatever the database, all of this should be automatically added right into the database without anything else. And I know you mentioned Zap. So why isn't Zap working? You said it's complicated?
No, we're at stage one. We don't even have it. We haven't even decided what the database.
Okay,
Right, okay, so how can I feed something to the database that I haven't even decided on? Now, right now, the easiest place to get to is in Google Workspace. There is a tables, which is kind of it's a database also there. But right now, we're looking at MySQL.
Yep.
MySQL to go do that,
right.
right? So, and then where do you put that?
What do you mean? Where do you put that?
Huh? So, I mean, I'm not looking at really small solutions. Right now, there's another piece that I send a spreadsheet out to these schools. It's got a lot of macros in it to go and collect information, and they send us back information that's supposed to be what student privacy compliant. We have federal laws we're trying to comply to. So I have this spreadsheet that goes and does stuff, but basically I want to see if I can figure out how to do it online. So now we're looking at something called Retool
Mhm.
that is possible, that might be that interface. But still, you got to get the foundational pieces done. We don't have a database yet. We don't have, I don't have a bulk mailer, a piece really designed yet. So there's all these,
Well, you should have a vendor for bulk mail.
huh?
You should have a vendor for that. You should be able to say, hey, vendor, bulk mail guy, here's all our addresses. Have them, you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, so you have to figure out how to get the database to go trigger that stuff off. So like the way this is done today, I collect the names of the schools, and then because everything is collected into a spreadsheet. I mean, this spreadsheet does more than one thing, because we actually create a spreadsheet, another spreadsheet that's specific to each school. It has their name, it has their, I mean, so I'm trying to progressively get to where everything kind of works together online. How to get there though is really a big problem.
So Airtable is, it's a database spreadsheet on steroids. I love it because it allows me to create all kinds of views, all kinds of here, I'll show you really quick. So here's, we set this up with HMA membership and it's tied to the e-commerce. So every time somebody becomes a member, it automatically adds an entry here, everything. When they purchased it, how much did they purchase, what membership, everything that's on your form can be added in here, right? So,
So let me ask you a question. We have people that register, right? They give us their principal's name,
Yeah.
principals. Okay, we want to make it so that only those three can apply and only get to the data that is
Yeah.
specific to that particular.
so I could say, I could create a view for every school, right? And I can lock down that view.
Mhm.
And now I can, so right now this is like, these are all the inactive members. Let's just say I've only got one person. I want to have access to this, what we call a view. I come up here, I can hit share. And I want to share this specific view here. I copy this here. I can hide this, lock it down, and I can, this is all you see. You have your special URL, you see your view. So if you've got a school and all of the people that, the people that have bikes or whatever, I'm not sure what each school would have. Each of the students that donated, that got a bike,
They have where they started. It's actually data from where the kids started and if they made a goal.
okay,
And then actually what they ended up at the end of the year.
Right.
Actual readings, or,
mhm,
which is private data.
right,
Okay, so
We-
this is where another feature of the security has to be. We ourselves really do not want to keep or maintain the name of the students.
yeah, you can encrypt that.
Yeah.
You
so
can-
we'll have to figure out how to make that work, but
I would really look at Airtable. It's very flexible. It's got an API, so you can connect it to multiple things. You can create different views. You can have events in here. So I can tie one table to another table, automatically sync, right? So I can do all kinds of fun stuff with this thing, again, without knowing a lot of code.
okay.
But it's tied to WooCommerce. So every time it'll automatically update the last purchase date automatically. So now when I come here, I can see recent members, right? So in August, we had 4 more people that, and that's just a view. So I created a filter. A date registered is after 60 days. And then I can hide, I can choose, I'm going to hide all of these except maybe their email and their membership type. So when I share this, I can decide what that person can see. So you can hide student names or code it. You can create another. So let's just say I'm going to use a student's name, but I'm going to hide it by the first and last, their initials or something, and just have, you can automatically create that here and in a second column,
Okay.
and then just have that view.
Okay. Is that similar to Retool? Have you ever heard of Retool?
I don't know, what's Retool? What is it? RE,
I think you said it was Retool.
the fastest way to build internal tools, visual programming, the power, flexibility of real code. Huh. I've not heard of it, but there's all kinds of tools like this out there. Hey, can't beat free.
Yeah.
I think Airtable is free up to a certain number of users. And yeah, I think it's users based.
But if it's for nonprofits, if they have a special view for a nonprofit.
They might, yeah.
That would help too. So, I mean, from my point of view, if I get to small, small costs or zero cost and interfaces that are easily supportable. The problem is that we're all volunteers, right?
Right.
Luckily, we're getting them. I was the first one and now I've got 4 of us now.
Right.
We just added 1 more person. So we're starting to get that base, but I have to make sure that we have the right tools in place for a consistent foundation so that everybody will learn off of it and that they can maintain it.
Right.
Or maintain their pieces. So that's kind of where I'm heading.
Yeah, so there's a free version you can take off. All right, see you later. And then it's $10 per user. So you get a free up to 5 creators. Now, what I found with as you upgrade, you get the colors. You can, distinguish by color then to, which I'm a color person, visual, but I don't know, take a look at it. It's big, huge enterprises use this as well. So it's not just, there's a lot you can do. And there's actually Airtable programmers out there that you can maybe bring on board to help customize or do what you need. But there is Zap. I mean, you just have to have the Zap on the site in the middle and then zap it into Airtable.
Right, so. How many cascades, I'd like to keep as few of these products as possible.
Yeah.
So if Airtable.
Well, if you want-
What Zap does together with a table or a database, relational database, then I'm all for it.
Well, if you want free, that's how you're gonna have to have multiple things to make things happen.
Well, I mean, even if I have to pay, right, if it's a reasonable cost,
Right,
if the fewer items I have to deal with,
right,
then the better the environment should be.
right.
The more stuff, the problem with web development is they got so much stuff out there. And it's killer.
Yeah,
And the last thing you want to do is go after a product that can outdate itself and be gone in a few years, right?
my feeling about it, because for me, it's project management. There's ClickUp, there's Teamwork, there's Airtable, there's all these project management tools out there, and everyone espouses their own version because they love it for this one thing.
Right.
In my mind, it's like you don't know until you actually get in there and use it.
Right.
So if you want to try Airtable or you want to try Retool, you just have to create an account and use it.
Right.
Because you're never gonna, unless you get in there, just like I did creating custom post types, unless you're in there. Yeah, take advantage of the free trial. Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
No, I
But you make a valid point that there's so much out there, but until you just create,
just
just
on things
do
you
it.
can kill out.
Oh, God,
page
don't
is
even go
not
down that path. Yeah,
And that's even from one producer. I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
700 themes in one producer.
Yeah,
It's like, are you kidding me?
right.
Can't you get this stupid? But
Mhm.
anyway, so. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm
Right.
trying to find those.
Yeah.
That here, I finally got it on there. I got to play with it a little bit, was pleased. But I wasn't sure about, one of the things I want to do is write back. Right? Because like one of the things we're trying to do is we're having an event where we're doing wine tasting, and we have 40 seats. And what you want to do is decrement the seats so that you only sell exactly 40 seats. So these are the kind of things I'm having.
Oh, well, that's a separate plugin. That's an event calendar plugin, but you're not going to be able to build something like that without hiring a high-end programmer to build that. Okay, and it'll take them a year to do it. Yeah, come on.
Come on, if it's
We're-
just sheets and you said.
No,
if you
mm-mm,
just have
nope, nope. Just get the friggin' plugin. It has everything you need in there.
I tried it. Wasn't-
Which one did you try?
Huh?
Which one?
Advanced calendar.
Okay, there's a couple others out there too.
One of the problems I had with Advanced Calendar was the donation piece. So you could buy, in this one situation, you buy a table, okay, or you could buy a seat,
Right,
okay? And then there was only so many tables and
right.
so if you sold a table, you had to decrement how many seats were available. But it didn't do that. Events calendar couldn't do that.
It could if you hired a programmer to customize it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to find everything. You just have to, the likelihood of you finding the perfect either plugin or you have to build your own, which will cost you either time or money.
And then you get all these other companies like, what is it, Give? Or,
They're going to have their own constraints.
huh?
They're going to have their own event constraints to it.
It's
So
like,
you could do that, but you're not going to have the deprecation of I want seats and if I've got 2 left, and they don't have that either.
well, we've already paid for Beaver. I haven't bothered to go after them to find out.
I'm telling you. All right, I'm gonna close this.
Yeah.
Say bye, bye.